The following is a Blazer Broadcasting sports presentation.
Pippen that stripped through Kersey. Duckworth, Drexler jams it over Billy Cartwright, and he is fouled. And look at him slapping hands with his teammates on the bench.
Five Porter, by Stockton, Kersey. Beautiful move by Jerome.
Danny Ainge will inbound. Porter from the left corner. Unloads. He scores! Rick! Ready!
Backdoor cut, Drexler. Oh, yes.
When it comes down to it, your satisfaction comes from, are you a winner or not? And our team is.
The 1991-92 Portland Trailblazers. A high-flying, crowd-pleasing squad that epitomizes the word team. A team that made it happen with great regularity. A team with a lethal fast break that strikes fear in the heart of all other NBA teams. Its lightning runs can energize an arena in a blink of an eye.
And you just know it's coming in your other team, and you know it's coming, but what can you do? Because everybody's just running and being very active.
You can feel it. You can feel it snowballing, and it usually starts with our defense.
I love just giving the ball to Clyde or Jerome and seeing them dunk and really get the fans involved and get themselves involved.
To Porter, Drexler, breakaway. Bingo! Mango! Bungo!
It's called hustle. You're just hustling, and the teams that hustle usually turn out with some pretty good results, and that's basically what it is.
Clyde Drexler's hustle, just one factor in the Blazers superstar's finest season. The 1991-92 campaign saw Drexler become first-team All-NBA, finished second in the MVP voting, put on a show in the All-Star game, and become a member of the Olympic Dream Team. He truly became one of the NBA's elite, a talent now known worldwide and loved in Portland, and all the while maintaining his status as one of the league's true gentlemen. The Blazers' desire for a championship drove them through the regular season. Their 57 wins brought Portland its second straight Pacific Division title. It was a sweet division championship for the Blazers, as some team members fought through personal losses and others struggled to find their game at times. After a season-long battle with Golden State, the Blazers clinched at home. They beat San Antonio with a week remaining in the campaign. The regular season is a 6-month opening act for the NBA playoffs. And the Blazers prepared for that drama with its biggest star watching. Drexler sat out 5 of the last 6 games, nursing a sore right knee.
He's back, number 22, Clyde Drexler.
The Blazers star was back, and he showed no rust from his time off. All the showtime belonged to the Blazers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Portland remembered their 1991 playoff loss to the Lakers, and they were not about to allow a repeat performance.
Kersey all the way to the rack, score! Portland by 32.
The Blazers' vaunted fast break was making it happen and supercharging the rest of their game as well. Portland crushed the Lakers in the first two games and headed for Los Angeles looking for a sweep. Once back in Southern California, the Lakers regrouped and put together a solid effort and beat the Blazers 121-119 in overtime, despite a 42-point outburst by Drexler. Little did the teams know that while they were at the Forum playing a game, the city of Los Angeles was erupting with shock and anger in reaction to the Rodney King verdicts. The civil unrest in Los Angeles postponed basketball for 2 days and caused Game 4 to be relocated in Las Vegas on the campus of UNLV. Once back on the court, it was the Blazers who best put the situation in Los Angeles behind them and blew out the Lakers.
Percy down court. Oh, my! Boom! Highlight film time.
Portland advanced to the conference semifinals, beating Los Angeles 102-76 with a high-energy performance in a high-energy city. Traditional rival Los Angeles had been eliminated, but next on the docket was current Pacific Division rival Phoenix. Now, there is tremendous respect, but no love lost between the two teams, and one thing you can count on is high-energy racehorse basketball.
Corner by Chambers. Robinson score! Great transition by Portland.
The first two games of the series were at Memorial Coliseum, and the Blazers needed every advantage the home court could provide. The Suns played well and could have stolen either game, but Portland made the key plays down the stretch and jumped to a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference semifinals. The series shifted to the Valley of the Sun, and Phoenix took full advantage. The Suns jumped out to the early lead and held off Portland 124-117 to cut the Blazers' series lead to 1 game. As the teams and the fans prepared for Game 4, no one knew they were about to be part of one of the most memorable games in NBA playoff history. In a gunslinging battle of epic proportions, both teams came out firing from the hip. The Blazers sharpshooters got the early advantage by hitting a remarkable 77% in the first period. Portland built a 15-point lead, but Phoenix kept in touch with their own blazing guns, and the Blazers had to fire from deep to maintain their lead. The Blazers stretched their 74-65 halftime lead to 12 in the third, before the Suns rallied to within 4, starting the fourth period. Phoenix opened up a 7-point lead inside the 3-minute mark and seemed ready to tie the series. But a resilient Blazer team refused to go away and got their opportunity in the final minute of regulation. Here we go. Ainge on the inbound play, down by 3. Ainge, ball high over his head. They get it to Terry Porter. KJ up on him, starts to drive. It got to hurry, and he goes, puts it up, he scores! And he is fouled. They could tie the game. The game went to overtime, tied at 140. And though it remained close, Portland was ahead most of the way. If not for missing 5 of 8 free throws, the Blazers would have put the game away. But Phoenix still had an opportunity. The combatants continued to throw salvos in the second overtime, but the Blazers gained the upper hand behind 8 points for Kevin Duckworth. And when Dan Marley's three-point attempt bounced away as the final buzzer sounded for the last time in Phoenix Madhouse on McDowell, Portland was on top 153 to 151, the highest scoring game in NBA playoff history.
They're sitting in the grave right now, but they don't have any dirt on top of them yet, so we'll see what happens.
That was probably one of the best, one of the longest and one of the best. It was a great basketball game to be involved in with two great teams, and I just wish it could have ended a little better.
I'll tell you, if you're neutral and don't care who wins, that has to be one of the more memorable playoff games in the history of the league. That was just an incredible basketball game.
The crowd in Portland for Game 5 was anything but neutral. They wanted their heroes to finish off the Suns, and the Blazers were happy to accommodate. Portland was in control most of the way and sprinted off to a 118-106 victory and a 4-1 series win.
That's a very good team that you beat 4 out of 5 games. It's a very good team. You should be proud of yourselves. Now we got one more small goal before we get to the big one. The small one is to win the Western Conference again.
We had our mind on bigger things since a few years back, and I think this is the year we could do it all.
After dispatching the fast-breaking Suns, up next was the grinded-out Utah Jazz. But the Blazers weren't ready to give up the breakneck style just yet.
Porter, a three-pointer. He's 2 for 2, and Portland jumps out 6-love. Blocked by Robinson, controlled by Williams. To Drexler. To Kersey. Duckworth. Incredible shooting display by Portland.
The Blazers took the Jazz to task in every phase of the game and registered a blowout to start the Western Conference Finals. Terry Porter led the Blazer attack with 26 points, including 6 of 8 shooting from three-point territory. But perhaps the most impressive thing about the 113-88 victory was the defense. Karl Malone and John Stockton combined for just 17 points, and Portland cruised to the wire-to-wire win, leading at 1 point by 33 points. The biggest questions about Game 2 were whether Buck Williams could continue to put the defensive vice on Malone. Could Porter continue to best Stockton? And could the Blazers retain the Game 1 intensity? The Blazer crowd believed they could.
An offensive foul against Karl Malone.
Terry for 3. Oh, Terry Porter!
Utah received improved, hard-working performances from its superstars, but it wasn't nearly enough. A revved-up Blazer team was on a roll, and its backcourt was leading the way.
Two-man game. Drexler.
2 wide. Stolen Clyde. Beats Terry. Score! He's fouled at coach!
Terry Porter was scorching. He was 12 of 14 from the floor on the way to a career playoff high of 41 points. Running mate Clyde Drexler tossed in 36 points and found time to hand out 12 assists. Portland takes Game 2, 119-102.
That same situation, they made the big shots out on the perimeter, and we tried to get to them, but they're sensational. I don't know that I've ever seen a team shoot the ball that well in this situation.
Those two guys, that they've just, it's just amazing to me to watch them. You just kind of sat there just in awe of watching how they played. You know, that they've just been just superb.
With a 2-game lead in the conference finals, the Blazers were a confident bunch, but not everything was perfect. The pain in Clyde Drexler's knee flared up again, causing him to sit out of practices. Rick Alleman wanted to see his backcourt stay red hot and was taking no chances with his superstar.
36 points and 12 assists again. I don't care what you do.
Full-time job fooling with his knee, I tell you.
Oh, I know.
I hate it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to back Terry and Buck off some today, too. Just have them do a little bit of running. Keep Terry's arm loose.
Oh, that guy's on the road. Is he on the road? You've been telling him to shoot it all year long.
In Game 3, Porter's shooting cooled off, but the Blazers continued to put the pressure on and had a double-digit lead early in the third period. But the Jazz and Karl Malone are a different, more aggressive team at home and rallied to get back in the series. It became even more apparent the work in the paint wasn't for the faint of heart, as Karl solved Buck Williams' hands-on defense and bruised his way to 39 points as Utah took Game 3, 97-89. In Game 4, the Blazers played well enough to win, but got involved with the officials and were assessed 6 technical fouls. Utah owns the league's best home record, and they would improve on it this day, as the Blazers could not take control. Karl and Jeff Malone combined for 61 points, as the Jazz converted 48 of 55 free throw attempts. The prospect of a long and tough series was now a reality, as Utah held serve and tied the match at 2, winning 121-112.
They haven't proven that they can beat us at our place yet. 2 games, losing by 20. We've proven that we've been close enough in this building where we can win the game. So we can't take things for granted because it's a 3-game series. But we know that we just have to come out and play well at home.
And playing well at home hasn't been a problem for the Portland Trail Blazers in a very long time. The Blazers shot out of the gate by continuing hot shooting on the home court.
And a 2-on-1 break. Drexler on the go. Kersey again. Oh, how he can finish.
By the middle of the second quarter, the lead reached 14, and the Blazers appeared to be on their way. But just before the halftime buzzer, Drexler inadvertently poked Stockton in the eye. The Utah All-Stars suffered double vision and would not return on this evening. And coming out of the locker room for the third quarter, the Jazz rallied around each other and made a comeback. Karl Malone scored 28 second-half points, but with time running down, Utah still trailed by 3.
If you're Portland, you should foul for possession of the basketball. Run.
For a three-pointer. Oh, my! Right down the middle.
However, Delaney Rudd's unlikely time in the spotlight was cut short by an efficient Blazer team in overtime. Portland scored 20 points in the 5-minute extra session and pulled away.
Drexler wide open is Buck Williams, and that should do it. They're really celebrating now.
With 4 starters scoring more than 20 points, the Blazers moved 1 win away from the NBA Finals by edging the Jazz 127-121.
It's really pleasing to see us respond like that in a clutch situation when everything's on the line. Our guys all stepped up.
After nearly stealing the 5th, the Jazz felt good, knowing that Stockton would be back for Game 6 and knowing it would be on their home court.
We have to win. That's one thing we have to do. We have to win. We just got to go out and play. Right now, I feel very much relaxed, and this team going to come in and try to close us out, and they can do that in this building. We know that, and we just got to come ready to play. And I think if we take care of ourselves and just do what we have to do, we'll win this ball game.
But it was obvious that the Blazers were relaxed as well.
This is O.J. Simpson on the side of the court here. The intensity in tonight's game has really been hellified. Clyde Drexler has picked up his game tremendously. Hollis came off the bench and played well for these guys. Even Kevin Duckworth, he's been up and down for this whole year, but over the playoffs, he's really been giving the Blazers a tremendous lift.
With the most important game of the season for the Jazz looming, Salt Lake City pulled out all stops in trying to fire the crowd and inspire the home team.
Who are you rooting for?
Utah Jazz.
How come?
Because I love them. They're home base.
And almost 20,000 other Jazz fans were also ready to cheer when Karl Malone got the first hoop of the game. Utah was jazzed in the game's early minutes and shot out to a 13-point lead. But the Blazers maintained their poise in the Delta Center din and began to chip away. Portland was within 3 after the first quarter and only trailed 59-55 at the half. Having weathered Utah's best shot, the bounces began to go Portland's way, and it began to build a lead. It wouldn't reach the comfort zone, however, until very late, but the Blazers held off Utah 105-97 to advance to the NBA Finals.
Easy, say it's a tough place to win, tough place to play. We got to go home game on Saturday.
No, we don't.
Didn't do it.
No, we don't.
You stayed after him. You stayed after him.
Let's go, baby.
Now we've made one more step. You know our job's not done.
Go, it's not.
We're gonna quiet an awful lot of people.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
It's the Uncle Cliffy.
The finals, baby. The finals.
The show. The show. The show.
Rip City, baby. Here we go.
And back in the Northwest, Rip City was ready. Blazer Maniacs greeted the team on its return with congratulations on goals reached and with unbridled hopes for the very near future.
Okay, Jordan on top. When they swing it to the top, a lot of times when he's here, you always have to be aware, Clyde and Buck, pick and roll. He'll either hit and go off, or a lot of times Grant will pick, and he just comes off on the dribble looking to turn the corner, shoot the jump shot, or get all the way to the basket.
The coaches and the players do their best to make the NBA Finals just another playoff series. But with the pressure and the media attention that come with the World Championship, it's much, much more.
Well, I'm just trying to remain calm and take everything as an everyday situation, even though I know a lot of things are at stake. But my best games have been when I'm most relaxed.
For all of the thousands that would pack Chicago Stadium for Game 1, there were many more on the outside looking in, and millions watching worldwide. The competitors arrived knowing that showtime was at hand. The matchup basketball fans had anticipated was a reality.
Go dunk all over Clyde. He can't stop Jordan. They can't stop it.
What time is it?
Go! Congratulations, guys. Let's have a good series.
Hey, boys! The moment you're all been waiting for.
What it's all about, baby. Let's play. Let's get it on, baby. Let's have a good time today, baby.
And the Blazers were having a good time in the opening minutes of Game 1 of the Finals. Portland raced out of the gate, led the defending champions by 8 midway through the first quarter.
Now, Porter doesn't hesitate. I told you, retaliation, three-pointer. They pull right up the line and shoot him. He shoot 50% from the line. He believes that's a shot for him.
But it wasn't Porter three-pointers that would be the deciding factor in this game. Michael Jordan took over Game 1 with a display that will not be soon forgotten. If you're an opposing coach, the three-point line is usually where you want Jordan's shots coming from. But not on this night.
Jordan for three. Yes! He is hot. Woo! Pull him off. He's hot.
The NBA's most valuable player unveiled another weapon from his potent arsenal, fueling the Bulls, the crowd, and himself. It even reached the point where even Jordan was astonished. When the dust had settled on the first half of play, Michael's line showed a finals record 35 points, including 6 long-distance connections, and the Bulls led the Blazers 66-51. Any hope the Blazers had for a second-half rally was soon crushed by a Bull run in the third period. Chicago outscored Portland 38-17 in that frame and cruised home for a 122-89 victory. It was time for Chicago to celebrate and the Blazers to regroup.
I just got hot. I got in the zone. And, no one expected it, but I saw the opportunity and the chance early, and I just kept shooting.
Hey there, it's going to be a slaughter tonight. Sweep, sweep, get out the brooms. We got them.
Coming off the Game 1 blowout, Chicago fans and many members of the media had the series over. The world champs would crush the visitors from the Pacific Northwest and would have another banner to hang in Chicago Stadium. But apparently, somebody forgot to tell the Portland Trailblazers.
See right at the start, it is a different mentality here for the Portland Trailblazers. They have come out very aggressively. Air ball, Drexler saving for Buck Williams. What a play by Clyde Drexler.
Let's go, baby. Way to stay in there, Buck. Way to battle, baby. When Michael jumps up, sit it down, step in, screening baseline side. Clyde has that whole corner to take what he's ever garnered. Keep going to the goal, man. Keep going to the goal.
The Blazers battled and clawed on offense and defensively shut down the Bulls and built a 54-45 halftime advantage. And after intermission, Portland kept attacking.
Drexler with the spin. Oh, what a move by Clyde Drexler.
But you knew the Bulls would make a run, and when it came, the Portland lead evaporated in a big hurry. Jordan's brilliance surfaced once again, and John Paxson zeroed in from long range to bring Chicago back. And when Jordan set up Bobby Hansen for the three-pointer at the end of the third quarter, the Blazers trailed by 7. The Bulls maintained the margin much of the fourth, and when Clyde Drexler picked up his 6th personal foul with 4.5 minutes remaining, the Blazers trailed 90-82. Their fate seemed sealed with their superstar relegated to the bench, but the Blazers refused to die and rallied hard as the clock wound down.
Oh, what a shot by Terry Porter. Shot clock to 10. Ames with the scoop. And the Portland Trailblazers have moved within 2. Portland in the midst of an 11-3 run. Ames feeding Kersey, and they've tied the game at 95.
If they miss and you have an advantage play, take it. If you don't, timeout, okay? If you don't have anything, call a timeout.
35 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan. Oh, what a move by Jordan.
Fans are on their feet here in Chicago. Over to Terry. Jordan is up on him. Duckworth pick. Porter. Duckworth. 10-footer. Good. The game is tied. Duckworth ties the game with 13.2 ticks of the clock to go.
Down to 5. Jordan played by Porter. Down to 2. Here's Jordan. And we go to overtime.
And in overtime, with momentum in their favor, the Blazers took control. Ainge drives, lays it for Terry. Terry for 3. Rip City. Terry Porter for 3 from Danny Ainge. Holy backboard. Portland pulled away with clutch performances all around and sealed an unlikely victory with smart play. The Blazers outscored Chicago 18-7 in the overtime to tie the series 1-1.
You guys are down 10, 4 or 5 minutes to go. Clyde's out of the game. Be honest. How did you feel at that point?
But once we got rid of Clyde Drexler, I knew things would look a lot. We would start playing a lot better. You know, it's kind of hard carrying all that heavy luggage for 48 minutes.
If you can't participate, you got to be a big cheerleader, and that's what I was. And I was happy doing it. I think we really played well down the stretch, and we had some good results tonight.
It's a very, very painful loss. I mean, we had an opportunity, to be ahead in this series 2-0, and we lost a very important game for us. I mean, an opportunity for us to go out there and put some pressure on them on their home court.
When the Blazers made their way home, they found Blazer Mania waiting with open arms. The city, the state, the region were excited that the next 3 games of basketball's championship were on the Memorial Coliseum hardwood. The Blazers eagerly anticipated the home crowd, but realized there still was work to be done.
It's kind of like a must game for both of us. We have to come out and play hard. The pressure's on both teams. So I expect Game 3 to be the best game of the series.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. These people have, like I said, they've supported this team and fell in love with it the last 3 years, and I hope they're very, very loud tomorrow. And but more importantly, I hope we give them something to get excited about. That's the big thing.
While Game 3 may not have been pretty, it was hotly contested from the very beginning. The series' most celebrated matchup had gone to Jordan in the first 2 games, but Clyde Drexler was ready to serve up the spectacular on this day. Clyde was the high wire act, but it was the Bulls who took charge. A 13-2 run by Chicago put Portland in a hole in the second period, a hole they would never get out of.
Jordan has to throw screens up Pippen and Jordan. Can't let him just run out in the passing lane. Got to make him run through the pitch now.
The Blazers shot 36% and managed just 34 points in the second and third quarters. The home team scrapped back from a 15-point deficit to make it a game, but never could get their lethal fast break on track. Both teams played tired, but Chicago got solid performances from Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Jordan to take a 2-1 series lead, winning 94-84.
We really were out of sync, and we're going to have to play much better than that if we're going to beat this team.
We never said it was going to be easy. We have a lot of respect for the Bulls, and it's a tough series. And right now we're down 2-1, and we got our work cut out for us.
With a must game on the horizon for Portland, the Bulls ran through a light workout, knowing they again had control of their own destiny.
Wasn't a good practice today, but it's all right to get the sweat. Don't worry about that. We'll get the shooting down tomorrow morning when we get to the Portland Arena. Remember what your mindset is for this next game coming up. Rest and recuperation. All right.
The Blazers' mindset for Game 4 was obvious. If they were to have a chance to claim the franchise's second world championship, they had to do whatever it took to win. But it was Chicago that was first out of the gate. scoring the game's first 10 points. As they did so often in this series, the Blazers battled back to keep hopes alive. But the man wearing number 23 for Chicago always seemed to have an answer and kept the rabid Blazer crowd to a dull roar.
Down to 2. Here's Jordan. At the 24-second buzzer.
Portland's shooting woes continued, but tremendous hustle led to some easy chances in the open court, and work on the glass kept Portland within striking distance. Chicago patiently maintained their lead, and with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth period, got what appeared to be a break when Jerome Kersey was called for a flagrant foul.
That is a personal foul on number 3. That is a flagrant foul, penalty 1 on 25.
But instead, the call seemed to fire an emotional Blazer team. The Bulls scored just 8 points the rest of the way, and Portland found its game. Pippen, Jordan, left of the lane, turned to Drexler, snips him of the ball. To Jerome Kersey, Kersey on the drive to Porter, back to Drexler, puts it up, he scores! The Blazers lead! The Blazers' first lead of the game came with 3.5 remaining, and they would not trail again. Portland executed down the stretch, and suddenly the marathon NBA season was reduced to a sprint to the finish. For the two teams remaining, 2 wins meant a title.
Tell me what happened in the fourth period. Defense. Where it was all at. In that last 6 minutes, you were so active, they couldn't get into anything. You forced them out of what they wanted to do, and you never quit. We got one more job to do here at home. We're not going to come back without the same effort we had tonight. Okay? Everybody's got to come ready. Everybody's got to come ready. The next ones are. We're going to take control of this thing, okay, on Friday and finish it in Chicago.
We felt like we had the game. We felt like that we could have won this game. It's a game there for us, and we blew it right there at the end. I mean, we held the lead throughout the whole game until the last 4 minutes.
How sweet it is, you know. Chicago probably would have said, you know, it's another game they gave away. But they let them keep giving these games away. We'll take them.
But there was little time to reflect on a victory, for the pivotal Game 5 was just 2 days later.
We'll give the defensive player all the room on a throw-in. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, stay healthy. Have a good game, guys.
Good game didn't begin to describe what Michael Jordan was about to do. Portland scored the first hoop of the game, but then Air Jordan took over. Michael lit up the Coliseum with 46 points, scoring from distance, on drives, by defying gravity and defense, and by getting to the line. It was a spectacular performance by the world's most spectacular player. The Blazers found themselves down by 20 and once again tried to climb the mountain.
Out here's Porter.
The Blazers would cut the deficit to single digits, but balky shooting and turnovers were too much to overcome.
And it's rebounded by Kersey.
The key Game 5 went to the Bulls 119-106. The Blazers now face the unenviable task of winning twice in Chicago Stadium if they were to dethrone the champions.
I didn't think they would win 2 games here, but I knew they would come in and play well. And you know, we have to just try to respond. You know, really, we can't put our heads down now. Still 2 games left.
Certainly not time to quit. This team is known for its perseverance, and we need to keep on persisting right now.
The Blazers' work was laid out for them rather neatly. Win or begin a summer vacation. And as the clock counted down to Game 6, the Blazers were surprisingly relaxed, confident in their abilities to force a 7th and deciding game. And when the ball was thrown up, they were indeed ready to do battle. In a seesaw first period, Portland gained the upper hand behind a dozen hard-working points for Jerome Kersey. For the first time in the series, the Blazers were playing with confidence and making the Bulls pay. An 11-0 run stretched the Portland lead to 15 in the second period before Jordan got untracked and pulled Chicago back to within 6 at the intermission. But in the third, it was again the Blazers who were the aggressors, and once again, the underdogs began to pull away. But even with a double-digit margin, Portland never got comfortable contesting every play.
For the Blazers, trying to tie the series at 3, forcing a Game 7 on Wednesday. Livingston is fouled.
Anybody but him. You know he want to go right.
But the Blazers had no complaints with the scoreboard. Their hard work had them up 79-64, entering the final period.
We got to win this quarter. Damn, this is what we talked about now. We win each quarter. We won the first, we tied the second, we won the third. We win this quarter. All right? We play the same way you can play it now.
The Bulls began the fourth quarter with Scottie Pippen and 4 reserves on the floor. And surprisingly, they turned things around. With Jordan cheering them on, Chicago caught fire behind its bench. And the Blazers, try as they might, could do little to stop the huge switch in momentum. Turnovers began to mount. The stadium crowd came to life. And the comfortable lead quickly became precarious. In 3.5 short minutes, Chicago chopped 12 points off the Portland lead. To make matters worse, for Blazer fans, a fresh Michael Jordan returned to the game for the stretch run. The Warriors traded punches for a while, with the Blazers answering the Chicago blows with shots of their own. But the tide had turned, and it was just a matter of time before the Bulls overtook Portland and then went for the kill.
Drexler playing with 4. Shot clock at 3. Yes.
Portland's marvelous season was about to come to a gut-wrenching end as the Bulls prepared to put the finishing touches on back-to-back title marches.
You don't foul now. You dig in and get a stop. Here's Jordan.
And Drexler to Jerome Kersey for 3. Iron no good. Paxson the rebound. Here comes the horn. The game is over. And the Chicago Bulls have won back-to-back World Championships.
It seems though, sometimes, things just aren't meant to be. And as I said before, we sort of have to relish in what we have accomplished this year and pat Chicago on the back for doing a very fine job.
I don't know, whenever you make it to the finals and you don't have a chance to win it, it definitely lingers a while. But it's time to still come up tomorrow.
And now from Chicago Stadium, wherever you may be, Bill Shonley, good night, everybody.
I think our fans, when they look back on it, are going to realize how special the last few years have been, and maybe the next few are going to be, because you don't get a team that wins consistently like this very often, and you got to enjoy it, and I know I am. And yeah, you can be disappointed, but you also got to be realistic.
Buck Williams, here they come again. 2-on-1, kicked it. Rip City, is that what they say up in Portland? It's Rip City here.
This has been a Blazer Broadcasting sports presentation.